Yo, what's going on, DZ team? Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about my plate carrier, my setup, how I use it, how I set it up, why, how you can set yours up as well. So, let's get into the video. Alright guys, so first things first, we're going to talk about a couple things. I know you see my hearing protection here, and then my body armor itself. So I'm going to break this down little by little so we can analyze everything in detail and some updates that I may have made from the last video that I've done. Alright, so the first thing is, I've talked about this before, there's an HRT plate carrier. And I've gotten this from Warrior Poet Supply Co. All the links down to my stuff will be down below, so you can go and check those out as well. And some other links in there in case you want to check those out too. Okay, a lot of the stuff here is HRT in general, if not majority of the stuff that's on my plate carrier. I like to keep the same things pretty mirrored to their company because they're designed to fit that way, right? So HRT plate carrier, I won't talk about my plates because they don't make my plates anymore. I should say, or at least sell them if I'm not mistaken. But I do have a placard in front, which has two admin pouches, and it's starting to rain. That's okay. I have an admin pouch here, and you're going to start to find out what works for you in your context. Everybody's setup's a little bit differently, and I had a different placard on here prior to this. But I like this one. It's got two admin pouches where I have a Write in the Rain, some writing utensils like a pen, Sharpie, things of that nature. Also, in these little admin pouches here, they have water drainage holes at the bottom. So if it happens to rain like it is today, or get water in there, something spills, whatever, you can ensure that nothing stays humid in there because it's got some breathable holes. Okay, same thing on this side. If you're going to bring some snacks, I have some notes in here. I have a small little blade in here just to do some admin stuff while on the move, while on the go. There's some retention pieces in here as well that kind of keep it all locked in place. All right. Everybody does something a little bit different. I don't have snacks in here right now because I'm not planning on using my carrier anytime soon. And so with that being said, I'm not going to let that stuff get old, moldy, but hydration packets are great. Little snacks are great. Things of that nature. Okay, I also have my 3 mag pouches in here. Inside my mag pouches are some little retaining pieces, some like elastic stuff. So, there's that. There's some elasticity that holds it together, and I'll show you all that stuff as we get through. And then I have the 2 mag pouches for handgun stuff with insert clips to hold everything in place as well. There's that stuff there. Now, on the back side, this is the Maximus, if I'm not mistaken, the Maximus hydration kit as well, or back panel. This is the zip-on version, though they have MOLLE attachments as well, so you don't need it per se. But the back side here, you need to think about stuff that your teammates will get for you. You're going to be having your plate carrier on, you don't want to have to take it off all the time. Stuff back here that your buddy can pull out for you, or stuff that you're not going to need readily accessible to you. So I have a couple of things in here, nothing too crazy. A bottom pouch as well with some water drainage holes there. And then you have a big part here, and I'll show you an inside version of this. But on the back side here, you have the hydration pack, and then you have a little retention with some Velcro if you want to put breaching tools, bolt cutters, things of that nature in there. Now, it's kind of a flat pack, but again, everybody has their preference of kind of what they're going to use on their back panel. I like this one. It just feels like it's going to fit me the best for what I want to do. Okay. So think about it that way. What is your context? What are you going to need? How much gear are you going to need on yourself? You might not even need a back panel. Also, keep in mind, the more weight you put on the back, the lower your back is going to sit when it comes to weight distribution. Okay. Now, in all this setup, I found different trial and error methods, and that's kind of the idea you want behind all this. It's a trial and error. Play with things. If you don't like it, switch something out, sell your old stuff, things of that nature. Now, I know you guys see a lot of wires and stuff here when it comes to that. And let's explain this. So, what I just took out is my radio, which I've done radio videos before. But on this side is a retaining, is called the hanger pouch, also on Warrior Poet Supply Co. I think this might be HRT as well. Could be wrong. It might not be. Again, link down below. But this is a elastic type. It's got some retention on it as well, and you don't have to put a radio in there. It can be a tourniquet. It could be a radio. It could be an extra mag. Anything that kind of fits in the N4 mag slot, you can put in there. I use a radio because I do comms out on the range. Now, when we look at the radio system, we're going to explain two different parts here. Okay, so we have the Baofeng radio, and I made a video on how to set this guy up. All right, Baofeng radio, and it's connected to a push-to-talk. Now, this is a tax guy, Amazon ordered push-to-talk. Nothing crazy about this, okay? Now, this is similar to keying the mic, all right? This is the only thing this does. You press the button, and it's like keying the mic here. Now, there's no mic attached to this itself. So, upon pushing this, it will basically be pushing that button. It's an extension of that. You will have to talk into the mic directly if you don't have a comm system, which we're about to get into. So, here and here, and if you look on the back side, it's just a little clip with some little teeth on there, which is pretty tough, pretty sturdy. Again, you can find some of this stuff on Amazon, so I'll try to find the link and put that down below as well. And so we're going to put this into that side pouch. I'm going to show you how I set up my system. Another thing to kind of keep in mind is all this wire, right? So I'm not going to put some bungee on it right now because I'm going to be moving some things around, but you want to make sure that you retain these wires either on your carrier somewhere, on itself, and make a little service loop and put it on your body. That's up to you to figure out, okay? There's many different ways of doing this and many different ways that people like to set it up. Real quick on the radio, last part here is that on the back side of these, they have a lot of clips to retain onto your belt or things of that nature. I took it off so it slides into the pouch whole lot easier, okay? So things to keep in mind. Let's go put this in. Now, thing to keep in mind, the screen, I'm facing it backwards for night operations. If you happen to do night operations, this will allow the screen to not display any light upon a emergency call being made, if you didn't set it up already, things of that nature, and it'll be close to the body. So, I'm going to retain all of this, put this in my pouch. Okay, now we have this wire, all right? So I'm going to loop this around here a couple of times, make a small little service loop, and I'm just going to keep it tucked for now back here. And I can even put this hanger, which is between my placard and plate carrier itself, is where the hanger pouch sits. So it's all Velcro, two-sided Velcro, right? And I'm going to have a little retention on this side, and I'm going to put this underneath, right in there. Because when I use my radio, I like to use my offhand so I can still be combat effective with my firing hand. Firing hand, non-firing hand. Non-firing hand should activate, move, grab mags, do whatever. But if I'm actively doing stuff and I need to talk, I'm going to be in the fight being able to use my push-to-talk kind of thing. Okay? Now, this is where we get into the comm system. You will need a contact system if you want to use your radio. All right? It needs a mic. Okay, something to speak into, and then it also needs a jack to feed into. Got some dog here on it. It's a jack to feed into. Okay, this will go into the push to talk, so you can hear, you can speak, and you can use your ear probe. Okay, so we're gonna do that now. We'll put this in here, and I'll move this to the rear real quick. Get this all set up. Beautiful. Lovely day to rain, right? So I'm going to put this into the jack, and I'm going to explain some things to kind of consider. Okay. We'll push this into the jack. Boom. All right. Now it's in there. Okay. And guess what? More wires to retain. What a joy. I know, right? So you got this. Some plate carriers have these little retaining straps on the side, and you can retain them in those. So easiest thing to do, put your ear pro right there, give a little bit of slack. We're going to then attach this, make it look all nice and pretty. And there you go. It is retained, okay? Something to consider. The slack here between that pull, as you turn your head, it is going to tighten and loosen this piece right here. The last thing you want to do is put tension on your antenna on your radio and any plugs or wires so where they pinch, break, and you can't use it on the field. Okay, so keep this in mind when putting this system on. You want to make sure that this piece is probably the last piece that you do. Okay, in my opinion, it's the best way to put on your carrier. So we're going to put on my carrier right now, and I'm going to show you kind of how to do all of that and show you how it fits, how it's supposed to fit, okay, and how I have mine fit. So the first thing I'm going to do is unplug comm system. Put this down, unbuckle my stuff, and the thing that I like to do is just unbuckle one side, kind of feed it in like a normal shirt. This off. And then put the carrier on. Okay. Once you got the carrier on, you can start putting contact system. Start it here. This wire. Push it in, of course. And some of these may be a little sturdy. All right, don't worry about that part. Push that in. And if you have a buddy, this is obviously a lot better. But you can do your own wire retention on the side. Boom, put a little bit of slack. And then you have your whole mic system. Okay, so at the end of the day, this is how your system will look. You have your push to talk here. You can press your button. Things don't get in the way. I can still operate, do my stuff, and shoot as needed. Move to my push to talk. And if you look at the seating of the way my plate carriers, it's high up here, right? It's not super low, sitting low. It's high. You want to protect the vital organs up here. You should have a little space here, okay? And you also want to make sure, if you look at the backside, it sits a little bit lower. All right, so kind of use this as a reference point when putting on or taking off your set armor. All right, that's a good general view to kind of have when utilizing your system. Okay, super high, and it wants to be snug. You don't want a lot of give in it. Now, the bands here might give you some retention, which is fine, but you don't want so much. You don't want so much slack, so much play. Okay, so if this video was informational for you guys, go ahead and leave a like. I'm going to show you the inserts and everything, so if I didn't already overlay them, you'll see it. Let me know down in the comments if you want to know anything specifically on how to do it. I already have a video on how to set up your radio. Now it's just putting your gear together and getting that moving, okay? So go out there, train, share this video with anybody you think would be beneficial, and play in your gear. I highly recommend playing in your gear, because if you don't play in your gear, you don't know how it's going to react, how it's going to move, how it's going to feel when you actually need to use it, okay? So play with it, get your kit on, maybe go and clear your house in a safe manner, of course, in a safe manner, and then adjust things as needed. You want to make sure things don't pinch, things don't bind as you move things. As you see here, a little bit of tension, right? Maybe you need a little bit of give. Maybe you need to wire something else and rig something up differently. Maybe you need a new carrier altogether, okay? Play with it, see how things line up. Are things intuitive? Feel your kit without looking at it to remember, build that muscle memory of where everything is. So when you're actually engaging, doing things of that nature, you're not having to look for it. You just know where it is, right? So my 3 mag pouches, pistol mags, my push to talk, my radio, all that stuff. Make sure you know where all those things are. Make sure you know there's no binding, moving of cable management if you're trying to go and clear, do whatever it is that you're doing for said operation, training event, whatever. But see you guys in the next video, and go and get trained.